What up, guys? Team Moky's B here. I haven't done a video in a while, but I've been actually having a lot of work. I had to do pretty much a semester's worth of ecology work yesterday because I sleep every day. Yay for sleeping! Yay, I have to do that because my camera's... Yeah. Anyways, so I've been through several decks since before deciding on this. I was pretty sure I was going to run Sabers, and we ended up trading those off. And then I was pretty sure I was going to run... what the hell was I going to run after that? Blackwings. And then a teammate needed those, and then we now have this for trade. But anyways, then I was going to run Final Countdown. Now I am back to Eatos, my default deck. Dice. Anyways, so yeah, Eatos is kind of my deck. That's been the deck I've been running for a while. I even have a playmat made of that. That a friend made for me, that I'll be using at the YCS I'm going to Atlanta. So I'll go ahead and show the deck that I'm using. Hopefully get through all of it. And hopefully I can get some suggestions on what you guys think as far as what I'm running. So Eatos, obviously we're running 3 Guardian Eatos. I think 2 is a more consistent number, but with 2 I never seem to hit them very often. I might every once in a while open up with 1, and then the rest are dead because I'll get a monster in grave. So what this build tries to do is tries to get that early, so that even if I do get a dead draw Eatos later on, it's not like, oh yay, all of my Eatos have been dead draws because I didn't draw it first turn. It's I have 1 first turn, and then I have 2 more that might be dead draws later. Sorry, I just had food, and obviously it's not working well with me. So we got 2 DD Survivor. I went with the 2 build because it almost seemed like every time when I ran 1, I mean 1 was consistent enough, but first of all I never saw it because I almost always used my Roto, my Stratos. And then second of all, I don't know, it's just whenever I had to set a monster, and I always want to save the Gemini for the Spark, I would set the Survivor and then be like, wow, I wasted a Survivor when it could have gone to a better use and come back later. So 2 mitigates that. I can, set 1 if I need to for defense, and then if it dies, I know I still have another one, that kind of thing. So 2 seems good. We got the 1 Stratos. He's Stratos, what else are you going to do? Combined with the 3 Alias, he goes with the Spark Engine. He's been seeing a lot more play because that Gemini deck won, so a lot more people are trying this deck and realizing how good Gemini Spark is. 2 Crusader Vendemion. I don't think 3 targets is enough. I don't even think 4 is enough, really. You need the 5th target. You're not always going to have Spark when you have a Gemini, but this way you will always have a Gemini when you have Spark. So it just the Neos Aliases are searchable, so they're good, and then your Crusaders are just added extra beat sticks. If you have to set them, oh well, it's better than Evocator. I mean, Evocator is a warrior, but you already have 5. So you have 6 warrior targets already in the main deck that you can use Roto with, and this has 1200 defense. So little cards that are annoying can't get over this. Unfortunately, it's just low enough to have Full Home Knight kill it. We got 1 random Doom Cal. He takes care of graveyard effects if I don't have a Dimensional Fisher out, or if they get a Gullet Bulb in the graveyard, or something like that. He just goes ahead and takes care of what D-Fisher can't already take care of. Sorry about that, guys. 1 Morphing Jar is just more draw power. I really like Morphing Jar in this deck. I mean, I only run 1 Skill Drain, so it's not all that, it doesn't get in the way all that much. And it's just really good defense. You set it. Even if their Full Home Knight kills it, it loses all their cards in their hands, so they lose all their Foul Troll plays that they're about to do or whatever. So it's good. If you know your opponent has like a Collude or an Honest that they've been ramming their stuff and you've been negating to not draw out the Honest, you can, bam, they kill the Honest, it's gone. And you use a lot of your cards up, use your resources up a lot to negate your opponent's stuff, so it gets your resources back. And you got 3 Barbaros. There are many different ways to get it up to 3,000, so it's really good. It's 19 when you summon it, and then it's 3,000 through many other ways. So it's really good. Also, if you summon this and they don't want to take damage and book it and don't realize, there's some cool other tricks you can do with this. Obviously, we got the 3 Gemini Spark. Makes it a good, it's an Icarus attack and a spell card, so it's good. Rhoda, searches out warriors, it's pretty much staple. Dark Hole, once again, staple. Why not run it? 2 E-Call. Okay, now a lot of decks are running 1 E-Call, and some are running 2, and some dualities. Most people run 2 if they don't have dualities. I also have dualities, which I'm going to go ahead and talk about because they kind of go along with this. Now, I used to run 1 E-Call and 3 duality. And the reason that I did that was because it searches out your Stratos faster, it gets to your D-Fissures faster, all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to end up running, inconsistent builds with 2 macros or 3 macros, whatever, as well as 3 D-Fissures. Now, the reason that you're running that, the dualities, is because you can use your e-calls to search for your Stratos and your aliases and whatnot like that, and save your dualities for power cards like Dark Hole, or a Gemini Spark that you need, or, one of the other negation cards that I run. It allows you, even though these can be dead, it allows these to be used for a certain purpose, and dualities only to be used to search Stratos and stuff like that if you don't have an e-call. There have been games where I've gone, duality into an e-call, into a Stratos, into an Eatos alias. And it thins your deck, and it gives so much advantage in the end that it's just good. So, next is 2 Future Visions. A little tech card that I used to run in sideboard for a lot of decks, and it just really hurts so many decks now that there's no sense in not running it main deck. If you don't know what this card does, when a monster is normal summon, you can remove from play that it's not that you can, you do remove from play that monster, and then during the next standby phase of the controller's, their next standby phase, or your next standby phase, whoever's monster it is, it comes back in the same position, which is face-up attack position, obviously, since you can only normal summon in face-up attack position. But, so, what's good about this card is you can summon your Barbaros. Let's see, this is a Barbaros. Bruh, you summon your Barbaros, it's 19. They have no response, which is, by the way, this is the only time it can be responded to, because the next time it comes back to field, it's returned. So, your Barbaros, you summon it, it's fine, 19, they don't care, it's removed. Next time I phase, when it comes back, it's 3,000, because it left the field. So it's really good. It's more ways to make Barbaros. At 3,000, it stops really big Fall Troll plays, because when they go Bogart Knight, special summon a tuner, the Bogart Knight gets removed, so they're just sitting behind a tuner. It stops Blackwings from Whirlwind searching, it stops Blizzard from being live, there's just so many plays that it stops. Yeah, it's just really good. Because we run the 3 Eatos, I think you have to run the Soul Release. It can be dead sometimes, but it does make the Eatos alive. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's no way to run 3 Eatos without main decking this card, unless you want dead Eatos. It's just going to happen. So, yeah, you got to run it. Then we got the removal. We got the 3 D-Fissure, sorry, and 1 macro. Pretty much staple for an Eatos deck. It's been like that for a while. Another new card, as well as the duality, we got the Solemn Warning. Most anti-meta decks running 3. A lot of decks are running 2 if they don't have them or they can't afford them. I'm running 1 just because of all the life point damage I'm going to take. You'll take a surprisingly amount of life point damage before you get your setup, so you don't want to take that much damage. Also, I don't want to not use this card, Solemn. It's just way too good. Stopping cards that are really game-breaking at the time, it's crazy. Not only that, but you can always activate a Solemn. You can't always activate a Warning. If you draw it late game, it's useless, whereas this is useful anytime. You could have 1 life point, and you pay, and you're at half a life point. So, I mean, it's just really good. TT, I mean, it's pretty much staple. Same with Mirror Force, and same with 2 Bottomless. So you got your staple cards, run them. They're good. They've been proven to work, so why not? We got 1 Skill Drain. It fucks over a lot of decks. This is another reason why I decided to play only 1 Warning. Because, you pay life, okay, consider it this way. Your main life point payment cards are going to be these 3 right here. So no matter what order you have, you're not going to have enough to run 3 Warning. If you Solemn, you're at, you're at 4,000. If you Warning, you're at 2,000. If you Drain, you're at 1,000. It puts you at 1,000 life points. There's not much wiggle room right there. Let's say you do it in opposite order, okay? You go Drain, you're at 7,000. You go Warning, you're at 5,000. You Solemn, you're at 2,500. Still not that much wiggle room right there. They smashing your monster, you Gemini Spark, they, Dark Bribe it or Solemn it or something like that, and, or you're under Cold Wave, even worse, and, 1 Goyo hit, or, a Fall Troll is almost enough to take you out. They Fall Troll, bring back, Dark Soul game. There you go. So, yeah, it's just good. It's too good not to run. And then the other reason why I think I can get away with running 2 Warning is because I run 2 Bribe. Solemn is mainly going to be used as a Solemn Warning that I can activate anytime. I have most decks, you want to run 2 Monster Destruction, 2 MT Destruction. That's why people are main decking MSTs. But as here, I have, my Spell Trap. Ooh, there's my camera. Faceplant. Bruh. Anyways, I have my Spell Trap, and I have my monsters right there. So that's good. I don't see why people are always hating on Dark Bribe. Yeah, it's a neg one, because your opponent draws one, but you don't lose any resources. Instead of paying the 1,000 life points you would with 7 tools, your opponent's drawing a card. And usually the card that you negated is not going to be much more helpful if they draw a card, because they just, you know, their whole play is wrecked. The only time that this card is bad is last format when Heavy Storm was back. I was playing against an Inferni player, and he Heavy Stormed me when I had 5 back rows. All I had was 1 Dark Bribe. I went ahead and Dark Bribed it, and then he drew into a Trunade, and there's not much you can do in that kind of circumstance, but yeah. So that's the main deck. We'll go ahead and go on to the extra deck. The extra deck doesn't have anything to do with anything until I show my side deck, actually, so I'll go ahead and do that, because that would be much more sense. Okay, we got 2 Cybers, because they're good. They're beat sticks, Machina, you know, wins games. I decided to go with Breaker over MST, because MST, I don't know, the only time I'd really need to worry about back rows is for Decree, and I already have 3 Sparks, so I mean, I can kind of deal with it game 1, and then this is just if they run Decree build, I can put this in. Also, cool combos of this with Crusader. You know, you summon this, you pop a back row, you can Gemini summon your Crusader. He'll gain 600, the Crusader will, and then Breaker will get another token. Or a counter, sorry, that'll be good. And then I have a side deck that sides into the Gemini stun deck. Now, if you watch all my old videos, I'm not actually net decking the Gemini stun. Other than the Effect Veiler, I've been siding these same other cards for a while now. Other than Effect Veiler and Hero Blast, I should say, because there were a couple of rulings that I wasn't too sure of on Hero Blast, which I'll say those when I get to it. But it's been an idea that I've had anyway, and then he won with it, and so I was like, well, I guess I'll side into that. So, yeah, Effect Veiler, it's good. 2 Thunder Kings, they equal out the Doom Cal, and we got 2 Honest to back them up. That's why we run another reason why we run the Crusaders over the Evocators. Reborn, you gotta play it if you don't use Graveyard. Cross out, because I have kind of a hard matchup against plants. Super Poly, it just makes a lot of plays live, and I'll talk about that when I get to the extra deck. Then we got Soul Absorption. Sorry about that. This is a card I'm probably going to test thoroughly, obviously, at the YCS. But whenever Future Visions removes a card, I gain 500. Anytime a card is removed, I gain 500. So anything with D-Fisher, anything with Macro, anytime a monster is removed with Future Visions, it's just for Game 3, really, so I can gain some life back. Vanity's Emptiness, over Oppression, because it's just better in general. Hero Blast, the ruling is on this, the effect is you can select any hero normal monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, destroy a card on the field with less attack. Now, the ruling is that you don't have to destroy a card. That's why I didn't know, because if they have, like, a Colossal Fighter and you need to bring back a, alias to spark with, you can activate Hero Blast and not destroy anything. You don't have to destroy anything. And then Road for Blackwings and Lightsworn. Lightsworn isn't really that big of a deal, but I have a hard matchup against Blackwings. So that, obviously helps. And then my extra deck, which is mostly Super Poly and Effect Veiler based, so we got 1 Cyber Twin for Super Poly, 2 Chimeric Fortress Dragons, because I side Cybers. Let's move this in the general idea. Here we go. And 1 Absolute Zero for Super Poly, 1 Gaia for Super Poly. This is for my opponent's monsters. If I play something that's my opponent's playing, that's playing like water or something like that, anything with Deep Sea Diva, I can use their Diva. And my, Alias or Stratos or something like that for it. Gaia is for my Barbaros, and if I'm playing against a hero deck, I can fuse theirs, or, Sabers or something like that. Draco Equest, just to get around big synchros. Like Stardust, I can do it too, and you can also hit a Black Rose when it's trying to nuke. So that's kind of cool. Catastor, these are just stable synchros for if I reborn a tuner or if I use Effect Veiler. So Catastor, Brio, Goyo, Black Rose, 2 Stardust, 1 for synchroing and 1 for Road. Colossal, Scrap Dragon, and Mistworm. Mistworm is extremely easy to make actually in this deck, but it's kind of situational. You can go 2 Geminis and an Effect Veiler and go for game. It's kind of stupid because I did that earlier. So thanks guys, give me suggestions, and let me know what you want to see, because I'm going to be recording a bunch of vlog videos at the YCS. Actually almost our whole team is going this time. So yeah, it'll be pretty awesome. So thanks guys, and peace. Suggestions please.